Joan and I have been married for 2 years, married right out of college. I work in sales for a manufacturing company. She got a secretarial job at one of the big insurance agencies in town. We knew each other in high school, but never dated. She dated my buddy Ray, but they broke up senior year of high school. We went to different colleges. Last year, we went to a 5-year reunion. It was nice to see most of my old friends. I saw them around, but we didn't socialize much. Everyone had their own lives. Ray married Sue, and shortly afterward, she had a miscarriage. It happened early in the pregnancy, so it wasn't as bad as it would have been if she had gotten pregnant later. I dated Sue when I was a junior in high school. We went to prom together. I remember it well because we both drank, even though we weren't old enough and had sex. For her, it was the first time. When she came home, her parents saw that she had been drinking and forbade her from seeing me again. Thank goodness they didn't know about the sex. We weren't in love or anything, but we were very good friends. I didn't tell anyone that she and I had sex. I promised her that I would keep our secret. I often thought about what might have been if we had kept seeing each other. Joan, Sue, and Marie were high school cheerleaders. I heard that Marie had married Bob and they had a child of 2 years. A few other guys I was glad to see at the reunion were Tony and Brad. The 5 of us spent a lot of time together. We were all on the soccer team. The funny thing is that I married Ray's ex-girlfriend and he married Sue. Bob married Marie, but they dated while still in high school. Tony and Brad were black guys. They never cared about being called African American. They always said they were born in America. Their parents and grandparents were born in America, so they are black Americans. At the reunion, they were both with their wives. They were beautiful women. I even liked their names, Shauna and Victoria. They were as sexy as their names. Neither of them had children yet. The 2 couples had gotten married just last year. Tony worked at the factory where I worked. He drove a tow truck and was damn good at it. Both Brad and Ray sold insurance at the company where Joan worked. It was nice to get back with the old crew and meet the new wives. Looks like we all did a pretty good job. We decided that after the reunion, we would get together from time to time and go out. After the reunion, we got together with Ray and Sue almost every month. With the rest of us, we got together on special occasions, like holidays or celebrating someone's birthday. Things were going pretty well, but one day Joan felt like things had changed. It was hard to explain. It was as if she suddenly became too nice to me. I had just gotten back from a conference. I had only been gone for 2 days, but Joan kissed and hugged me as soon as I walked in the door. I didn't complain, but it was kind of out of place. We made love at least 3 times a week, and sometimes more, so it wasn't like we were in a drought or anything. Before I could shower, she said she wanted me, and we went into the bedroom. I asked her what prompted it, and she said she just missed me. In the days and weeks that followed, she seemed different. When we went out with Ray and Sue, she no longer acted as friendly with Ray as I always remembered. Sue still always kissed and hugged me whenever we met. I'm not a detective, but I had to wonder if something had changed in their relationship. We still met every month, went out to dinner, and even danced. It just seemed like Joan and Ray weren't acting quite the same. Sue never said anything about them, so I thought maybe I was just overreacting. Besides, Joan had been more interested in my schedule lately, when I'd be out of town and such. That got me thinking again. We still made love 3 times a week, if not more. She enjoyed the sex, and I made sure she was always satisfied. I also realized that when we were dating Ray and Sue, they never joked about sex the way we did. I began to feel like they were hiding something. It was a gradual change, but I'd seen enough TV to suspect that this was the behavior of people who were hiding something. I wasn't going to make any accusations until I was sure something was going on. During the Thanksgiving holiday, we went to visit Joan's family. They lived about 40 miles away from us. During the visit, I caught Joan talking on her cell phone. I wondered who she was calling that was so important. She always paid her bills, so it would have been hard for me to figure out who she was calling on her cell phone without making a fuss. During Christmas vacation, we visited all of our friends and agreed that we would all go out together for New Year's Eve. I noticed that Joan greeted all of our male friends with hugs and kisses. We always did that. I greeted my wives the same way. It seemed that Joan was the only one who treated Ray a little differently. At the New Year's Eve party, everyone had a great time. I danced with all the wives, and my friends said I was lucky to be married to Joan. We had all had a lot to drink, which made for some loose talk. As Ray and Joan were on the dance floor, Brad mentioned that at school all the guys thought Joan was hot. He said, "Don't be angry," but we often wondered how hot she really was. For a lot of us, she was fantastic sex. "Your chocolate bunny looks pretty damn good, too," I replied. It was just guy talk, but it got me thinking. After drinking some more, I asked Brad if he ever saw Joan at work. He said he did almost every day, but only in passing. He said he had seen him and Ray go out to lunch a few times, but didn't pay much attention to it. When I was dancing with Sue, I realized she had too much to drink. She told me how much she liked me in school and wished her parents weren't so hard on me. Since she had a lot to drink, I wrote it off as talking about drinking. I did hold her close to me, and I enjoyed it. She was still someone special to me. I cared for her more than I realized. I saw Joan and Ray off to the side. It looked like it wasn't just friendly flirting. I saw them kissing as they crossed the hallway. I'm sure they didn't know they could be seen. After the New Year's Eve party, I began to watch Joan even more closely. One day when she wasn't home, I looked at our phone bills for the past couple months. Ray's number appeared several times on the cell phone bill. Checking the dates, I saw that she had called him 3 times on Thanksgiving alone, and even more on Christmas. I then checked this against my nightly appointments. I told her that I was going on a short trip at the end of January. It was true, I did have a sales meeting, but only for one night. Without her knowledge, I went out and bought 2 voice-controlled voice recorders. I put one in the living room and the other in the bedroom. I hoped I wouldn't find anything. I was not an extremely jealous person. Like I said, we all flirted with each other, but for me it never went to the jealousy stage. Admittedly, I did put a little weight on it when I hugged Sue. She didn't say anything, so I guess she didn't mind. Each recorder could record up to 6 hours. After returning from the short trip, I went straight home. Joan had already left for work. I got the tape recorder from the living room and it was full. I started listening and heard the TV running in the background. Then I heard Joan making a phone call. "Ray, he's gone and I'm home alone. Alone. Come and play with me." She was trying to sound like a little teenager. She must have turned off the TV and left the room because the recorder stopped. The next thing I heard was her opening the door. I figured it was Ray. "God, I missed you so much," Ray said. "We should be together. When are you going to leave Alex so we can be together?" "What about Sue? Have you forgotten about her?" Joan asked. "I married her because she got pregnant. I've always loved only you. No one has sex as good as you. I can't wait to get in your pants." "Let's move to the bedroom. I shouldn't have let you go." I stopped the recorder and pulled out the one in the bedroom. I was really pissed off. It amazed me that Sue was a wonderful woman and he was abusing her, and Joan was his whore. Those 2 assholes deserved each other. The tape from the bedroom was all sex. She was moaning and groaning, and he was asking her if he was better than me. After she was done, he asked her again, "Do I have you better than Alex?" "Yes, I like the way you have me. I want you to fuck me again." "When are you going to leave Alex so we can be together?" Ray asked. "I don't know. I want to be with you, but Alex has been good to me. He gives me everything I ask for. Can't we just be buddies for a little while longer? It would be hard to just walk away from Alex. My family loves him, and he's a good husband and lover." "I thought you just said I was better. Who is better at making sex with you, Alex or me?" "You're both different. Alex is more gentle, but you're rougher, and I like that." I heard them start having sex again. I knew this marriage was over. I loved her, but I didn't realize how quickly love could turn to hate. Now I had to come up with a plan to get even with her and Ray and still act normal. Back in the living room, she told Ray that she loved him and only him. She would think about what she could do to break up with me so that I wouldn't find out that she still loved Ray. When she got home, she greeted me as usual. I had no problem fucking her, but I decided to be a lot rougher and a lot less gentle. She wanted rough, and she would get it. And she did. The next day,